Okay, hello and welcome to Discord 101. In this workshop, we're going to walk you through everything that you need to know to have a safe and secure experience in Web3. The format of this is that it's supposed to be pretty interactive. So please keep spamming the chat with nice things, with emojis, with any questions that you may have. We have mods and WoW team members here who will keep flagging these to me. And if you're too shy, then there is like 20 to 25 minutes set aside at the end for you to just ask your questions. The way this workshop works is that first I'll be covering how you should keep yourself safe if you're a member. So if you're just a token holder in multiple NFT communities and you've invested in projects and you use Discord to interact with the communities and to keep up with that project's updates, what are the best practices that you should be following? What is it that you should not be doing? There's a lot. And the second half is if you're a project manager or a founder or anything of that sort. So um, first, let's just do like a quick poll. How many of you use Discord to engage in communities? Drop an emoji in the chat just to let me know. Hmm. Okay, awesome. There's a few of you. And how many of you use it for like you are a project owner or you're a moderator in a project or you have your own Discord for something? Katie, Nudes, Ethan, there are mods. EcoBoy. EcoBoy has his own project now and he has his own Discord, which is awesome. Sean is here. Sean the VFriends mod. And we have Chrono and Bunny. Uh, Kendria, how's it going? I remember we met at Beacon. And Jill. Hi, Jill. Cool. So I think we have a good set of both like people who use NFTs, people who use Discord just to keep up with the NFT communities that they're in, and also people who use it to moderate servers and do like for their own projects or for bigger projects. So let's get this thing going. So I don't know how many of you know this, but Discord was a platform that was initially started for gamers. So it wasn't really meant to be for Web3 communities or for all the types of servers there are. It was started by this guy called Jason Citron who wanted to talk to people while he was playing games. Hence the slightly complicated UI, hence like the slightly like bro vibes of the platform. However, given that COVID happened, it became like it boosted by like a crazy amount. A lot of users discovered and learned to embrace it because besides Facebook groups, it was the only place where Gen Z could sort of hang out and engage in communities. And it's sort of, I don't know how, but it became the go-to social platform for Web3 communities as well. And this means that every community has its own server and every server has its own rules. So when you talk about the WoW Discord, it's actually the WoW Discord server is what it's called. Same for VFriends or any other project that you're in. And within these servers, there are these bifurcations called our roles. And roles, everyone in a server has a role, whether you're a member or a token holder or a moderator or an administrator. Everyone has roles that gives them certain permissions, and these permissions decide which channels you have access to, which people you have access to. Even, for example, if you're a token holder, you're going to have access to the private holder only channels. But if you're just a member who's lurking, there are certain things that you won't be able to see. So I hope you guys got it. It's a little like this is a like the basic, but it's important to understand the labels of what these things are called to understand the permissions that you have and the permissions that you should be giving as a mod or an administrator. So yeah. Catching up with the chat. Okay, like I said, there are two different types of roles. The main ones that we're going to be like doing this workshop for are members and admins. Members are your general NFT community members, admins and mods. We went through this. You guys are pros now. Um, Slightly technical stuff, but this is the permissions that every member should have. It is it is a quick rundown of like the general permissions. Um, as you can see, it's just to view channels, not to manage them or to kick people or to even ban them. It's solely for just viewing purposes. So generic stuff, you basically don't give them anything besides like being able to view and being able to send messages. Um, quick quick note about the member role. The members are the most vulnerable people in the Discord. They're the ones who are most likely to get scammed. And we see it every day in every NFT community that we're in. Um, it's unfortunately not uncommon for people to be to be falling for fake links, fake giveaways. It happens all the time. As you can see here, these are some of the messages that you get as soon as you join the World of Women server. And while we do our best to ensure that these bots are kicked immediately, at the end of the day, they are bots and we cannot control the DMs that are sent to you. But the good news is that you, as a member, can control it. And this is done by turning off your server DMs. Your server DMs are literally the worst place to engage with anyone. And wait, am I breaking up? Let me know in the chat. Okay, I'm gonna switch networks. Sorry guys, bear with me for a sec. Okay, is this better, guys? Let me know in the chat. Okay, awesome. One of our mods just told me that it's better. I'm gonna continue. Yeah, I was saying that what you can control is, as a user, what you can control is getting DMs in the first place. Just you can choose to not receive them. Many modern community managers that I've spoken to believe that it should be a default setting to have these closed. But unfortunately, Discord hasn't listened to us yet. But it is the best practice. So if you're in this workshop right now, tell me real quick in the chat if you have your DMs open or closed. I'll wait for the messages to come in. Mixed. Closed, closed, closed. Closed since birth. Okay, that's funny. Chrono. Chrono's guardian looks so cool in the chat. But awesome. We have a very educated crowd here. I love to see it. Love to see it. But in case there's anyone who doesn't have their DMs closed, please follow these steps. There's a settings gear at the bottom of your screen if you're on laptop, and you can click on the privacy settings and turn off the allow DMs thing. This will make sure that your inbox doesn't look like the slide that was right before this. And it also makes you so much safer as you navigate through the space of Web3. And uh, this is like the number one thing you should be telling your friends, families, or newcomers in the server, since we have a lot of mods over here that like just turn off server DMs. It's not worth it. But when you tell someone to turn off DMs, it they think that it's going to ruin the quality of their friendships. But there is a way around that as well. There is a nicer way to ask someone to DM with them, or there are other platforms, which I will be telling you about now. As a member, you have a set of do's and don'ts as you engage on Discord. Now, there's a lot of do's, there's a lot of don'ts as well, but the main things are that you should be reporting sus behavior to mods. It's the most helpful thing for us to know what's going on, to know the kind of bad actors there are, and so that we can ban them. Um, like I said in the previous slide, turn off DMs completely. Um, when uh, when you're navigating through like a Discord and you really want to talk to someone, like for example, you really like the NFT that they have and you want to work out a trade with them and you're coming from a place of genuine intent, ask people in the server before you send them a friend request. It's a very genuine practice, especially in Web3, that people actually admire over just sending unsolicited friend requests or unsolicited DMs. So yeah, always be skeptical of announcements. I know that this sucks and I wish we didn't have to do it, but always be skeptical of announcements when that a project is launching, especially if it's about minting. Most projects in this space, at least the ones who care about their community, will never do a surprise mint or a surprise drop without communicating about it days in advance. So just definitely always be skeptical. I hope that there comes a day where we don't have to overthink every time we click a link, but this is where we are now. So be skeptical. And some of the signs that a server is compromised is that there are mint links and the rest of the channels are on lockdown. That is the number one way to understand that you're in a compromised Discord, which means that you shouldn't be interacting with anything over there. And another way to be safe is that, regardless of whether you're skeptical or not, always ask a moderator before you click on a link that was shared with you in a Discord. Now, I know that this is a long process. In Web 2, we're used to just clicking on things and getting them, but it's so much better to check with mods or to check with friends in the space that you have about whether a link is legit or not, whether you should connect your wallet. Nothing is too important for you um, in comparison to in comparison to the idea of losing your assets. So protect your wallet with your life and don't sign random messages, because it's not worth it. We've heard so many stories about people going through this, and you don't want to be one of them. So yeah, enable two-factor authentication. I have a few slides later on to explain how to do this. But the last thing I'd say, this is not very common. It's not a very common tip, but it's something that I personally like to see in a profile, is a complete filled out profile so that you're recognizable. Keep a PFP, have your Twitter link so that people know that you're a real person, your name, or maybe your Web3 identity, just something to let people know that you're an actual person and you're like not a bot. And it's nicer to know that there's something legit going on there. So yeah, again, this is optional, but it's just a best practice. um Catching up with the chat, I see that Vicky said buddy system. Yes, when you join Web3, have a group of buddies or friends that you can just cross-check information with. This is the one space that you don't want to navigate through alone. Many call it the wild, wild west, and going through it solo is just painful, and I wouldn't wish that on anyone. And if you find it hard to make buddies, just ask mods. It's their job to do it, and they will do it quite happily in most of the servers I know. So yeah, coming to the don'ts. We kind of covered this within the do's. It's basically the opposite of all the do's, but don't connect or click on any links to you that was sent by DMs. Don't send unsolicited DMs. Even if you have good intent, just ask the person nicely, tag them in the server that you're in, and let them know what your intent is. Let them know why you want to DM them. And once you do DM them, don't send them a link out of nowhere, because that's suspicious and that's weird. So yeah, one of the common scams that I've seen is trading on platforms like NFT Trader or SudoSwap. A lot of people do this because they are very, very educated and they've been doing it for a long time. But it's really not recommended if you don't have accurate knowledge or the guidance of someone that you trust when you're trading through these, because majority of like the early day scams on Discord used to happen when a website like SudoSwap or NFT Trader was replicated by the scammer with just changes in the URL. And it's very easy to miss these changes. So I would really recommend that you stay away from these third-party apps because it's it's confusing. But if you find someone that you trust who can walk you through it, I know some of our mods are pretty experienced with these trading sites. So if they were there to guide me and I know who they are and that they're legit, then I would, probably practice a little bit and then go for like a bigger trade. But in the meantime, just try not to. And when you do take that leap, check the URL, like every single alphabet, and make sure that it matches because, again, your assets are at risk, your crypto is at risk. And yeah, don't, this is a very general practice. Don't violate server rules. It's just common courtesy when you're inside of like a Discord server. It's like when you go to someone's house, you're going to sort of respect the culture that they have there. You're going to respect the rules. So it's the same thing when you go into a server or into a community. You want to be mindful of the guidelines that they've put. You want to be mindful of what of the policies that the mods have made. So just like that, don't violate server rules. Don't use a profile photo that doesn't belong to you. This can cause a lot of confusion and it can cause moderators to believe that you're trying to scam someone, even if you have good intent. Just try not to do that because most Discord teams are going to think that you're impersonating someone and immediately ban you. Cynthia uses JLo photos. That's okay, Cynthia. Just don't use other people's wows or wowgs because it's going to make them mad. But yeah. And 7.7 basic, never give your password to anyone. You wouldn't do this for Gmail, you wouldn't do it for Zoom, Instagram, Twitter, so don't do it for Discord either. There will be people who are trying to trick you by trying to make you fill a Google form, make it seem like you need to give this information, but it's obviously a scam. And we will have like a whole other workshop on wallet security. I'm pretty sure we've all almost filled out a Google form giving away our MetaMask seed phrase at least once because of all the Twitter raids that MetaMask support does. But that's a whole other topic that we'll educate you on in another workshop. So yeah, what do we have next? Yeah, this is just breaking through the best practices and how you should approach other people. These are all screenshots from the World of Women server. So if you want to ask someone whether you can be friends and whether you can send each other DMs, just put up a message like that. Hey, can I send you a friend request? I want to ask you a few questions if you don't mind. And you can see that Steven and Jay Tyler here, they're both verified WoW holders through the little earth icon next to their names. They both have PFPs. They know that they're legit, so they accept it and go ahead. So yeah, just like even when you're asking, try not to be creepy about it. Like just give context, give reasons why you're messaging them. Because again, like if you just put it out of nowhere that, hey, I sent you a request, it's a little authoritative and honestly kind of rude. So always give a reason and always ask politely. But the key word here is to always ask. Don't send unsolicited friend requests because a lot of times there are people who are impersonating other people. Yes, this includes community members. Scammers now also include fellow community members into thinking that they're the legit one and they make them do NFT trades or pseudo swap trades. And then, like, obviously, like I said earlier, it's a fake link and you end up losing the asset. So the best way to verify this is to click on the person's profile, then accept the request, and then DM them. So what I would do here is click on Steven's Rainbow Wowg, which is really beautiful. And then I would get a pop-up. It would say accept or decline. I click on accept and then I DM him immediately so that I know that this is the real Steven and not a scammer in disguise of Steven. So yeah, are you all with me? Is this too complicated? Is it too much? Let's do a quick vibe check in the chat. Katie says great stuff. Awesome. Chrono, great vibes, Max. Awesome. Awesome. Does anyone have any questions so far? I'm reading the chat, so feel free to let me know. All good. Also stay hydrated. It's not in the presentation, but Discord can be so stressful that you just forget to do anything else, and it can give you so many headaches. So it's really important to drink water. And yeah, cool. Up next, always check with mods before clicking. These are some of our amazing mods doing their thing. Buck is a baby mod. He's a volunteer, but this is a really like nice way in which they answer. They're very friendly. Any nice Web3 Discord has nice mods who will help you out whenever you have a question. They're not, don't think of them as intimidating. They're here to help you. So just always ask them. Or what you can do is ask the official Twitter account, and that'll probably reach out to you as well. So you see like a fake link on Discord, you DM us on Twitter and you're like, hey, is this legit? And we'll tell you that no, it's a scam. Grace, our social media manager, they're in the chat and they're very good at replying to these DMs and letting people know when something's a scam or not. So yeah, just feel free to always ask. And it doesn't have to be a Discord scam. You could be flagging an external scam to us. So to the very right of my screen, there's someone impersonating, not even impersonating, it's just like a fake thing. They're pretending to be a WoW team member, even though they're not. So keep flagging these things to us on Discord. It's very, very helpful. It helps us keep the community safe. And yeah. Coffee is hydration. Look at how hydrated I am. I drank this whole mug of coffee so that I could be with you guys. I'm on your team, Corey. All right, moving on. If it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. Discord has way too many fake giveaways. So the first thing that I want to say is that you don't have to deal with this crap if your DMs are closed. So just close them. It's not worth it. But in case, just in case, we have a few risk takers here, people who like living on the edge. If they want to keep their stuff open, I highly recommend being suspicious of pretty much everything that comes your, of pretty much everything that comes your way, especially messages like these. I mean, given the people that we have here, a lot of you are Web3 natives, so you know what a scam looks like. But a lot of your friends probably don't. I know people who have personally like fallen for these really bad, and it's really sad when that happens. So always, always, always close DMs and be alert about fake giveaways, because fake giveaways could potentially drain your wallet. So you're not just buying a fake NFT, you're interacting with a contract that can take away all of your other NFTs and even the Ethereum that you have. So yeah, I'm sorry to be scary, but just don't click on links, and definitely don't connect your wallet or sign random messages, because again, it's not worth it. And yeah, that was our whole thing for members. Do you guys want a quick recap, or are we good to pause for a second and move on to admins and mods? Let me know in the chat. We'll go at your pace. Also, feel free to just switch on your cameras. I feel like I'm talking to like a wall. You know, in university, the way like my professors used to speak to an empty class, I feel bad for them now because I feel like the professor. So yeah. Katie is good to keep rolling. So is Carly. Mm, awesome. I'll wait for like a second more to see if anyone's saying anything. And if not, we'll talk about admins and mods. Also going to check the Discord real quick. And baby mods, Chrono, I see you. Oh, who are baby mods? Does anyone want to guess who the baby mods are and what they do? If anyone here has questions about like how the WoW team structures its Discord organization, I'm happy to answer questions at the end. So feel free to just prepare it in your head, or like the things that you want to know about how we run the show. So yeah, the babies from moderators. We have a lot of babies from moderators. Nudes has 2 kids, so does Kim's, so does Vicent. We would have a pretty tight baby mod squad. But anyway, that's not the case. Baby mods are just volunteers. They work with us for as many hours as they're available, and it's just a volunteer role. Carly, yes, you do have the permission to take screenshots of the slide. I'll also make these available to you after the workshop. I'll have you guys fill out like a feedback form to let us know how, if you learned anything from this. And that'll have like the drive link, but you can take screenshots. So yeah, okay, let's move on. Let's move on. Let's talk about admins and mods. I can see like from the participants list that we actually have a lot of admins and mods in this crew, which is awesome. It's great that you guys are here because it shows that you want to go the extra mile to keep your community safe. So just pause for a second, pat yourself on the back. I'm grateful for your attention, and so is your community. So thank you for making this whole space safer. You guys are superheroes, even if you don't know it. So yeah. Now, this is kind of technical, but it's very, very important. You have 2 types of roles in the Discord server, as I said earlier, for teams. You have admins, you have mods. Your admins are the server owners and the administrators. Administrators are people who have full permissions. They have a complete control over the server. They can manage roles, create new roles, manage channels, ping everyone here, specific roles. They can they have all the powers of a moderator, but like take that to the next level. So they could probably ban mods, they could probably kick mods. It's just like a super role that gives you like all the power. Think of it as like the thing that Thanos had, but with like all 5 of the stones in it. Like you could just snap and half the server's gone. It's that much power. So I just want you guys to realize how much power it is, because not everyone should have it. And my favorite quote: with great power comes great responsibility. And we're going to talk about that. But first things first, let's talk about permissions for mods. Administrators are the people who set permissions for everyone in the server. So they decide whether token holders have their own role, whether token holders have their own channels, who the moderators are going to be, what permissions do the moderators have. Now, it's really important for us to know what permissions the moderator has, because a lot of the Discord hacks that have happened recently are because the moderators have permissions that they do not need. Now, what's the most like common Discord hack that you've seen? The mod gets compromised and they're posting fake mint links in the announcement section. Now, this is because the mod has access to the announcements channel, even though they really, really shouldn't. So one of those key points is that the mods shouldn't have the access to manage channels. They shouldn't have access to manage this thing called webhooks. How many of you know what a webhook is? Let me know in the chat. Nope, nope, nope. Yes, yes. J-Lo loves Pepsi. Good to know. You've heard of it, but you don't know what they are. Okay, awesome. I will explain it. A webhook is a bot. Well, it's not exactly a bot. It makes it look like there's a bot and a message is coming from that bot. Now, webhooks can be created for all of the channels. What a hacker likes to do is get into the account of a moderator who has the permission to manage webhooks. It's literally like a panel that says manage webhooks, and then it's like green or gray. It should always be on gray. If it's on green, it means that it's enabled. And if this feature is enabled, that account can potentially create messages that can be controlled from outside the Discord server. And you don't want that, because once the control is outside the server, a lot of fake links can be produced and put in, even when you try to shut it down. So definitely make sure no one has the option to manage webhooks, because it's unnecessary. A moderator really doesn't need it. There's no use case. There's no way of it adding value to the community. And secondly, it's a massive risk. So if you are a server owner, make sure you've disabled the second last thing that I've mentioned here. There should be no permissions to manage roles, no permissions to manage webhooks, and definitely no permissions to manage the server, because that means that they can do a lot of stuff if they ever get compromised. And it's just generally something that the mods don't need. One like key practice in Discord security is that if it's unnecessary, just don't grant the permission. Like, and the same thing if you're sort of trying to make an easy Discord experience for your users. If a channel is unnecessary, you don't need to have it. If a permission is unnecessary, you don't need to grant it. So less is really, it's not more, but it's enough. And that's what you should aim to do. And it's the best way to keep your members safe, and to also make sure that it's smooth for them and that they're not like stressed all the time. So yeah, did you guys understand what webhooks are, or was that a little complicated? Do we need to go over it again? You got it, Katie. Awesome. Awesome. I'm glad. Only Thor should have that much power. Thor does not deserve that much power, but that's another conversation. So yeah, let's go over the permissions. Mods should be allowed to kick, ban, and timeout. Obviously, you guys, I don't need to explain it to you. They should be able to kick users if they're, being annoying, or ban them or time them out. Timeout is a feature that allows you to essentially mute troublemakers, and it's actually really nice. We use it all the time at WoW. And they should have the permission to manage messages. Manage messages implies that they're able to delete messages. And this is really important because sometimes people post weird stuff in Discord chats, and we need to be able to delete it. Unlike Zoom, where there are weird messages and I cannot delete them because Zoom doesn't give me that permission. So yeah, it's a basic thing. Every mod needs it. If you don't give this permission to your mod, they're going to hate you for the rest of their life. You don't need to give them the permission to manage, to mention everyone are here. That's something that should be limited to the admins. Uh, and you should definitely not give them the administrative permission. When you scroll all the way down to, let me just show you guys the legit thing. When you scroll all the way down, you can see you guys see here, manage webhooks, manage server, all of that stuff should not be given to mods. When you scroll all the way down, there's this thing called administrator. And that's, again, one of those things that you don't want to give to the mods, because they're not administrators. But yeah, moving on. Do's and don'ts. I love do's and don'ts if you can't tell already. Let's talk do's and don'ts for mods and admins. Do's: create channels for scam alerts, scam reports, and official links. Scam alerts is where you notify your entire community of a new scam that's going around. Scam reports is where your community can tell you about scams that are happening and if there's something that the mods can do to control them. And official links is their go-to place to find updates related to your project, and just like the legit stuff instead of them falling for things. One of the best practices, if you're a member, is to verify links that have been shared with you through through your friends or family or any other source with the official links channel. So these are things that you should keep updated, keep a close eye on. It's essential in my opinion, and most big Web3 servers have them. Uh, as a modder and admin, you need to enable 2FA and developer mode. Steps are attached in the next slides. You need to stay updated with the latest scam vectors on Discord. There's something new happening almost every week. Scammers are getting smarter by the day and even more sophisticated. So it's important that we keep ourselves updated with what their new tricks are and how they're planning to social engineer people into giving away their seed phrase. It's one of the crappy parts that we have to keep up with, but if not us, then who? So just stay updated with stuff and keep sharing the updates that you get with your fellow mods and CM friends as well. And if you're an admin, aim for 24/7 mod coverage. I know that it's hard because mod teams, it's not easy to have like a big mod team and to manage them, but try to have people in different time zones who can keep an eye out for you, and so that you can sleep peacefully. Like, you don't want to constantly wake up in the middle of the night and check, oh, is my Discord hacked or not? So yeah, just so that you sleep a little better, and so that your community is protected even when you're not there. uh, Try to have coverage and create a WhatsApp or a Twitter or a Telegram group with your mods in case of emergencies. This is key. This is so important. Your mods need to have a place to contact you if something happens to the Discord. Preferably your cell number so that they can just call you. But I know that this is Web3 and many of you don't like to share your identity. So just have an alternative place to chat, an alternative place where they can reach out to you. Because if your Discord is hacked, the first thing that a scammer or like a hacker is going to do is ban all the mods, because they know that the mods are meant to protect it. We saw that happen recently with a project, and it wasn't good because there was nothing that the mods could do. They couldn't even delete the fake announcements because they weren't on the server. So yeah, establish some or the other line of contact. And yeah, gonna catch up with the chat one sec. Peg loves do's and don'ts as well. Yay. I think it just makes things easy. So yeah. Chrono, can you give a brief overview of 2FA? Yes, absolutely. I will come to that in like 4 slides. uh, Another set of do's: double check permissions granted to mods and the other roles. So if you're an administrator, just like every week or so, just do a quick overview of all the permissions that you have given to your moderators, because sometimes like another administrator may have switched it up, but you want it to be in line with your policy and in line with the best Discord practices, because you want to keep your community safe. Monitor the audit log regularly. Now, the audit log is an interesting thing. When you go to your server, if this is for server owners, when you go to your server, you click on the server settings, you will see an option to access the audit log. The audit log is it's your ether scan. It shows you every single activity that any mod, any member, any bot is making. So if Bunny here bans bans Katie for wreaking havoc, it's going to get logged in my audit log. So monitor this regularly, look for any irregularities. Now, an irregularity would be something like an administrator banning a moderator. When that's happening, there's a very good chance that the administrator has been compromised, because why would they ban a moderator? They would do it because they're hacked, and they want the smartest people to be out of the server. So just keep checking it. You don't have to constantly be hooked to it, but every few hours or right before you sign off and as soon as you sign in, it's just a good practice to have an idea of what's going on. So yeah. AK, are you unmuted? Is there something you wanted to say? Okay, I think we're good. Use bots trusted by Discord to combat spam raids and to keep members safe. I recommend DinoBot and Hashbot. I'm going to put it in the chat so that you guys have it as well. They're like the best anti-raid bots that we have. And it's just important because when you have a lot of bots coming in, just like the message that I sent earlier, the slide that I had earlier of all the fake WoW accounts, you need bots of your own to fight against them because your mods are not enough. They need their weapons, and these bots are essentially weapons for your mods to keep the community safe. So yeah, is everyone good with these 8 points? Anything you want me to go over? 2FA and dev mode is something I'll be diving deeper into in the coming slides, but beyond that, if there's anything, let me know. Number 2. Okay, I think we're good. Are we good? Just drop an emoji so that I know that we're good. I don't want to skip over anyone. We're good. Okay, let's move. Don't DM community members. That's so weird. In 2022, if you're like DMing community members, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be using Ticketbot and you should be using Twitter DMs as the last resort if there's anything, because people are going to impersonate you. Whether you're a big project or a small project, there's going to be fake accounts of you everywhere. So just don't DM people, redirect them to tickets or redirect them to the official account that you have associated with that Discord account, because it's just a very unhealthy practice. There's the people who are impersonating you are going to send all the fake links, and it's very hard for members to identify fake from real. So just don't DM them. Don't give unnecessary permissions to mods or other roles, as we discussed earlier. Do not give administrator permissions to unverified bots. It's risky to even give it to verified bots. So I would really not advise giving administrator perms to unverified ones. Sometimes they have their use cases, but in most scenarios, it's not worth it, because giving that permission to a bot means like opening up this whole set of exploits. So yeah, don't answer collab requests on Discord, because sometimes the person who's trying to collaborate with you is going to send you a malicious file. And if you download it on your computer, it could possibly drain your wallet, but it also just compromises your account by giving your Discord seed phrase. Now, that's a whole complicated thing that I would dive into in another Zoom call, but just don't do any collab stuff on Discord. Email, Twitter, Instagram, these are way, way, way better platforms to do it on, where you know that the person behind the screen is legit. I know that we had a few questions about dev mode. Dev mode is a feature in Discord that allows you to get the ID of the people in your server. So for example, it is your ID is kind of like your wallet address and your username is your ENS. Does that make sense? Your dev ID is something that it's a free feature that allows you to have an easier overview of your members' activity. So let's say that it's usually 18 digits long, so it's a lot. You can't really remember it for people, but it's very easy to copy if you have developer mode enabled. So what you would do to get this ID is tap on the profile, copy user ID, and then if you want to ban this member, you would do !ban user ID. And it just makes your life a lot easier. So I would really recommend enabling this. And just for my knowledge, how many of you have this enabled already? Katie said that dev mode is key, so I'm assuming that they have it enabled. Cynthia, dev ID, yes, it's just on Discord. It's an alternative that you don't see when you click on the profile, but you can copy it if you have this mode enabled, and it's really recommended for admins and mods. It's not on yet for Jill. Jill, I highly recommend that you do it. And if you need help, reach out to me after this is over. Ariel as well. Yeah, moving on. Enabling 2FA. Now there's a lot cooler people than me who know how to like enable it. So I've just copied their screenshots from the Discord support side. But if you don't have 2FA enabled yet, you really should. Two-factor authentication. Pretty much every social media platform has the option of enabling two-factor authentication for your accounts. It just means that beyond the password, there is another step that you have to complete, linked to your phone number, to your email address, or to the Google Authenticator app for you to keep your account super secure. It's an additional layer of protection that's added to your personal Discord account. And it's highly recommended for users, admins, mods, whatever it is that you do. It makes your account less vulnerable to scams. And it just also makes sure that no one else gets into your account, even if they have your password. This is how you enable it on your laptop. How many of you have not enabled 2FA? Let's get that info. I think a couple of you missed dev mode, so I'm just going to go back for a sec. You open the Discord app, click on the settings right at the bottom. It's the same as this. You'll see the appearance tab, and all the way at the bottom, switch on like the developer mode option. The benefit of having this on is that sometimes you can't find users easily on Discord, but you can find them very easily through this code, through this 18-digit code. And not only finding their profile, but you can also find their history and activities that other bots have logged. So yeah. Okay, I think are we good to move on from dev mode? Awesome. Enabling 2FA, this is step one. I will send these slides to you so that you can do it. I know that we're running a bit over time, so just go to my account, enable 2FA, have Google Authenticator downloaded on your phone so that you can just scan the QR and enable it. I know that this may seem a little confusing, but it's a really quick 3-minute thing that will make your account super, super secure. And I highly recommend it. Even if you aren't like an admin or a moderator, it's worth it to go the extra mile. Yeah. Now, sometimes scammers can bypass the 2FA. This happens through the collab request scam vector that I told you guys about. Sometimes they're going to pretend that they want to do a collaboration with you, send you a malicious file, and then they basically corrupt your entire account. And that's how you know that your account has been compromised. Now, you're in the middle of all of this. Your server admin has been compromised. They have no idea what's going on. There's fake mint links popping up. The community doesn't know that it's a scam, and you're just in this really weird position. What are you going to do? Personally, this is my worst nightmare, but what's your first reaction going to be? It's going to be to freak out, which is okay. But in moments like this, I hope you come back to this deck or you remember what I'm saying, because I think it's something that as mods and admins, we should all prepare ourselves for, no matter how many precautions we take. Sometimes out of human error, our servers can get compromised. So step one is to breathe. Step zero is to breathe. And step one is to alert your community. They're the first people that need to know that the account has been compromised, that this is a scam. Through Twitter, Instagram, whatever social media platform you have access to, just let them know that this is going on, and let them know that you're trying to fix it and that you're aware of the situation, just so that they have an idea that you're working on it. and reach out to community managers and moderators of other servers so that they can notify their own communities. Step 2, get a hold of the server owner. The server owner is like the server owner is a level above your server administrators. So that's like administrators are your Thanos, and this is like Thanos is like supreme. I don't know if that exists, but you get the idea. Contact them, tell them to open the server settings, check the integrations, check webhooks. We spoke about webhooks, so I'm counting that you guys remember what it is. And the server owner has to delete every single webhook. Even after you delete every single webhook, you have to do a little more digging and find out who created the webhook, because that's the person who got compromised. And when you know that this person has been compromised, you have to ban them. Now, the reason why another administrator can't do this is because all the admins have the same permissions. So you need the server owner, like Thanos is senior, to come in and ban baby Thanos, because Thanos's brother or sister is the one who's got compromised and they need a timeout. So just ban them and get rid of them, and you can bring them back later on. And I don't like Thanos. This is just a weird metaphor that has stuck in this workshop, and I hope that you guys don't hate me for it. So yeah, step 3, communicate that the situation is under control. So once you've banned the evil Thanos and the server owner is here and everything is okay, let people know that you've got this and you're back in control and you're getting an auditor in, which brings me to step 4, bring a trusted auditor in. So if it's a fellow community manager in a big server, or someone that you know in the space who's known for Discord audits, bring them in, have them review the permissions and settings, because you can never be too careful, and discover the reason of the hack and educate your community about it as well, because you don't, Web3 is all about transparency and you don't want to not tell them the reason behind it. It's a question of accountability. And the best projects I know are the ones who admit to it and they walk their communities through what happened and they dissect everything, so that it gives community members an idea of what went down, and 2, helps other people in this space protect themselves against things that might possibly happen. So yeah, catching up with the chat, one sec. Full transparency, yes, that's what we're about here. Step 5, check for damage and communicate the team decision on compensation. When a server is compromised, there is a lot of collateral damage. The people end up losing valuable NFTs, Ethereum, other coins, and you need your team to do an audit of everything that was lost by going to Etherscan, making a list of it, pitching it to the rest of the team, and communicating your final decision on whether or not you're going to compensate the victims of this scam. Now, this is very subjective, and it's completely the project's decision depending on the funding that they have. But it's important that you communicate around this, because a lot of people have lost a lot of money and they're going to be in a state of panic. And when they're in that state and they're not hearing from the project team, it's going to make them lose a little bit of trust. But you want to ensure that you can maintain that trust with your community. So just communicate with them regardless of what's going on and regardless of whether it's an ideal situation or not, because they would rather have bad news over no news. And that's how it is for so many things in life. And it just applies here as well. So yeah, everyone cool with these 5 steps? Is there anything you would do differently? All good? You guys agree with me 100%. Wow, I like that. All right, moving on. It's Q&A time. That was it for the Discord security for members as well as admins and mods. I will have these slides sent to you guys so you can enable 2FA, enable dev mode, manage the permissions for your mod teams as well as for your administrators. It's the kind of stuff that's hard to do alongside the workshops, and I completely understand that. So yeah, let's get some questions in. I know that Jilly wanted to know a little bit about how we do stuff at WoW. Uh, Jilly, if you want to unmute, feel free to. And I'm just catching up with the chat. Chrono, you're making breakfast. What time is it over there? Clearly, he is. Okay, does anyone have any questions? Are you able to unmute, or is Zoom not letting you? Hi, Corey. Thank you for switching on your camera. How's it going? Do you want to introduce yourself to the class? No? Okay. Are you sure? Okay. Zoom won't let you unmute. Oh no. Oh no. Wait. Who wants to unmute? Could you raise your hand so that I can
I just want to say thank you so much for this. This has been amazing. So helpful.
I hope that it was helpful. Did you learn anything new, or is it the same stuff you read on Twitter and on other Discords?
Once we got to the mod and admin part, 100% of it I did not know. So because I'm not a mod or an admin. So thank you.
All good, all good. Is it helpful for you to have that perspective, or do you think it's just like information that you don't need?
You mean before with the member part?
No, with the admin part.
Oh yeah, 100% of it. I didn't know any of it. So that was really helpful.
Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome.
And I'm glad we're gonna have some of the slides. I think that'll jog my memory of what was said.
Oh yeah, for sure. And right after we get through like the questions, if you have any, because I know Jilly has one, there's a hint, there's a clue to the capacitor saga that we've all been living around WoWs and WoWGs. And Diana is very excited for me to play it for you guys. So yeah. And
That's
thank
exciting.
you for your kind words, Carly. I really, really appreciate it.
Oh, I appreciate you taking the time. Thank you.
Of course. Cynthia, hey.
So I just wanted to ask you, thank you so much for your time. It was really, really helpful. And was curious, like for new mods, and we just started a server, like what do you have any suggestions in terms of like just like top tips, like what would you say, like, literally we just started our server.
Top tips in terms of managing the server?
Or even just like in setting it up, like what channels, or what would you say, just like, if you were to restart everything now, like looking back, what would be like 5 things that you'd recommend?
One, having a mod team that's pretty divided across the world so that you have coverage in different time zones. Number 2 is have like an engaging Discord and have activities that your community members can do without feeling unsafe. That's one thing that I would change about the World of Women server right now. Like, we don't have enough trivia in games, and I've realized that it's actually really fun and allows communities to bond, and Discord has some cool bots that lets you do that. So I would definitely incorporate that. Number 3 is to have FAQ channels. So like FAQ, official links, report scams, scam alerts. These are like 4 channels that you need in your Discord structure, because it's very useful in keeping community members safe. I would have an incentivization system for mods, whatever, depending on what your budget is, just something that keeps them motivated, because they do so much for you, and it's important to find a way to give back. So yeah, that's what I would say.
That's amazing. Thank you so much.
All good. Thank you so much for attending this. And everyone, I just put a feedback form in the Zoom chat. I would really appreciate if you took out like 2 minutes to fill it out to understand how this workshop went, what we can do better for the upcoming ones, and just a general idea of how you're feeling right now. So yeah, Cynthia, are you able to speak? Because I asked you to unmute, but I'm not sure if it worked.
Oh yeah, I was just coming to bug. I don't have any questions. No, I actually it lets me unmute, and then once I go off, I have to raise my hand again.
Okay, wait,
So
I just changed up a setting, so you should be able to.
oh, unmute and the mute. It's all good. I think that was a great question, Jill, though. And yeah, so go ahead and do your thing.
Oh, okay, cool. Do we have any other questions? If you don't have a question, just let me know that it's a no. And then we can, if we have a lot of no's, then we can just move on to the clue, and then you guys can get rid of me. Okay, so you're not saying no, but you're not saying yes. What is it, y'all? Okay, I have a message.
I think they want the clues, but I think filling out the form might activate the clue.
Oh yeah, filling out the form activates the clue. That's a good
Here, I'll
one.
put it there again.
Yeah.
Wonder if there's something here.
Is anyone feeling shy to like ask a question? Because if you are, then you can just like send me a direct message on the Zoom chat, and then I'll just answer back.
Rude chrono. Yeah, if anyone has any questions, you can also DM myself, DM Kashfi as well. We can address it here. I do see some new sort of names and faces as well, so feel free to ask away.
Yeah.
Jesus, Kashfi.
If you give me 1 out of 5 for being a bad teacher.
Yeah. You did fine. That was good. I also loved your background.
Thank you. This is oh yeah, for those of you who don't know, this is basically the spread of the WoW community all over the world. This is where our people live, and they live everywhere, which is so cool.
Our people, that's cute. It's like a little tribe. Okay, it doesn't look like anyone has any questions. Are you guys filling out the form?
Yeah, I'll just take a look at the form responses real quick.
Forgot form. Okay. We'll give you like a minute or two maybe to just fill out the form. Here's the form. Oh, thank you, Jill. Thank you, Corey. And then like we said, there will be something shortly. So yeah, we'll give you 10 seconds, Bunny, but no more. I kid. Alrighty. Oh, I wonder if Neha can hear the workshop. It just says hers is connecting to audio, but I saw that for a while.
I really hope she can.
Yeah. Weird. We sent, I see you.
Matt submitted the form.
Oh, yay. Looks like something is charging up then. Ah, very nice, Chrono. Ah, okay. Okay. I can't believe I said it like that. It's so natural.
I think Miami is like rubbing off on you know.
I know. I came back an entire new person, man. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what is this? I like got new shoes, got new clothes. I was like, I don't want to leave, you know. Oh, I feel that. Okay, form done, nudes. Yay.
Okay.
And
I think we've reached our threshold. We're almost there.
Sounds good. I think we need one more. One person who's done the form.
Yeah.
Oh, Chrono's back. Oh, Carly, I think submitted. Okay.
Okay. We're there. Let's do the clue.
Okay. Sounds good. Go ahead.
I hope this works. One sec, guys. Oh.
$75. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Oh, Angela.
Good luck reading that.
I put the screen.
Yeah, no. Okay, so some context. The Assembly of Women have sent this message to us in order to rescue the WoW Galaxy capacitors from our well-known villain that you might have seen on Twitter. WoW holders received their blue capacitors, but the WoW G green ones are stuck, lost somewhere, stolen by an unknown villain who has different colored eyes. And we need to figure out a way to get them because WoW G are nice people and they deserve their capacitors. This is a message from our our protagonists, the nice people, called the Assembly of Women. And Naos is a character that you know if you've been in this community for a while. And I will just play it again for your viewing pleasure. And so that you can try and figure out what the hell's going on. So here you go. Can you hear the audio? Just let me know. Interesting stuff. If you saw it, then you saw it. No screenshots. And okay, so with that, if no one has any questions and if everyone saw the clue, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up the workshop. Thank you so much for spending 1.5 hours with me over here on this Discord security Zoom where I was basically just nerding out and you guys were very patiently listening to me. I hope that you took something out of it and that it's going to help you keep yourself safe and keep your communities safe because it's the most important thing in this space. Oh wow, that the words. But yeah, and thank you to everyone, like a bigger thank you to everyone who filled out the feedback form because legit feedback helps us improve.
True. Thank you, Kashvi. This was awesome. And thank you everyone for coming. We appreciate it and we'll see you on Discord as well.
Yes, thank you. Bye.
Bye everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Ciao. Yeah,
If you
bye now,
have
ciao.
questions, you can hang back, but otherwise, I think we're good.
Like the professor when he stays for, or she stays for.
I feel so bad for all my university teachers right now because I can empathize with them
Kashvi, were you turning your video off the entire semester?
pretty much. Like that was me. Like, oh, my Wi-Fi is really bad today, you know?
No.
Big.
Good question. Was there supposed to be audio or no audio?
That was supposed to be audio, but
There was
it was just like sci-fi music. It wasn't anyone's.
Oh, okay. Then I heard it. Yeah, perfect.
Okay, yeah.
Thanks for clearing it.
All good, all good.
Of course. Thank you for joining, Carly.
Yeah, thank you so much. And for all of your kind words. That was super nice of you.
Oh, 100%. I can't wait for next time. Is there going to be another one?
The next one will be on wallet security, and it will
cool.
be hosted by our amazing mod, Unstoppable Bunny. They're truly unstoppable, so it's going to be a good one.
Oh, I can't wait. Fantastic.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
All good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hi, Katie. I see that you have your hand raised. How's it going?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, perfect. It's good to be on here. I just had a question about, I guess, what do you do when you do have people that are like, oh, I like to keep my DMs open, and they're the main ones, I guess, always dropping information like ban this person now, and like it's not the nicest way to say it, but and like kind of double checking that the information that they're dropping, I guess, is actual facts, because sometimes it's just like ban this person, there's no proof and you ask for it. I guess what's your way that you approach kind of maybe repeat, I don't want to say offenders, but for lack of better words, a repeat offender coming into a space like demanding a mod ban someone from the community?
Well, every server has a different approach to this, but we like to be the, like what I like doing is being the bigger person and like very kindly requesting for some evidence or some proof. And if they refuse to comply, then you just let them know that, hey, this is our server policy and we are mods and we can't go against it. So if you could comply and cooperate and please give us these screenshots, we would really, really appreciate it. And if they still don't listen, then you just tell them that, hey, we understand where you are coming from, but we also have our set of rules that we need to follow. And your report is incomplete, which is why we can't take any action. Hope you understand. And next time, keep your paper trails so that we can.
Okay, perfect. And then,
Yeah.
so our server right now doesn't have like a ticketing system. We're working on getting that. So I'm really going to take the information you've shared here and like kind of take that back. I'm with Ethereum Towers. I know you guys are,
Oh, you, yeah.
have a floor. Yeah, you guys have a floor with us. But yeah, I think that's kind of the issue like we're running into. And then I also wrote down the two, I think you said the two bots that help combat against bots, because right now we're doing a lot of manual removing of bots. It's been not the funnest situation. So I appreciate you sharing that information, because I mean, on average, I mean, we're getting tons of fake Ethereum Tower announcements coming in now. It's unfortunate. And a couple people have been unfortunately scammed in those situations. So again, it's kind of like you said, like with DMs being open, I do feel like a broken record sometimes telling them like, hey, like if your DMs were just closed in general, like not to like, don't want to blame them for the situation, but I'm like, we're not even minting right now. Like just come to the server next time, please, just, doing that. So we're trying to, get our security and all that stuff in place a little bit tighter, especially during this market. I feel like people are just kind of bored and have nothing else to do, and they're just trying to figure out a way to make a quick buck off of people. So I wanted to just thank you for your time and everything that you shared today, and I'm excited for the next workshop that you put on. And we'll make sure we put it in our server for people to come, and we'll put the next one in the server as well for more people to come, because this is the kind of, I think, value that communities need to give to their holders, because it's just so much good information that people don't want to educate themselves all the time. And education can be, as people say, it's like, it's just boring to sit, but like I thrive on like knowing as much as I can, so then I can disseminate that information and keep our community as safe as possible. So I just wanted to say thank you guys to the WOW team and to yourself for such a great workshop, and just keep up the great work.
Thank you so much. That's really, really
welcome
to say. And
it was nice meeting you at VCon.
Yeah, me too. I still have our photo. And
yeah,
I really think that this is the best time to like really take your Discord security to the next level, because it's not a lot of people are stopping by Discord servers lately. Engagement is low. So you have like time to make big changes if you want, without disrupting too much. So let me know if you ever need help with that. I will recommend a ticket bot to you as well. The one we're using is pretty nice. If you guys don't already have one. And
we're friends already on Discord, so I'll just send you a quick message just so you know it's me, and then we can kind of chat there.
Yeah, awesome.
Perfect. Thank you guys. You guys have a good one. Stay safe out there.
Will do.
You too. Thank you for joining as well. For your words. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay.
I think we're good, right?
Yes.